So I'm sure the people watching this video right now know the content creator and streamer Minx. She's recently been a part of the Mizkif drama. Minx has been in the news over the past couple days, and the reason is honestly kind of insane. So a fellow streamer named Adriana came out about, someone living in the OTK house apparently inappropriately touched her, and that Mizkif was actually helped covering this up apparently. And then this all feeds back into, after these allegations came out against Mizkif and Slick, Minx went live and started watching the video of Adriana talking about how she was inappropriately touched apparently while she was unconscious. And you know what Minx did? She laughed about the entire situation, which was honestly insane. She didn't take the allegation seriously. She even said that Adriana was a clout chaser for coming out about Crazy Slick. Only 18% of the people watching this video right now are actually subscribed to the channel. Don't be part of the 81%. Subscribe to the channel. You have nothing to lose inappropriately touching her while she was unconscious, allegedly. And she called her a clout chaser.
Slick is Slick. I was here for this, and the other girls, I was there too, and I heard them out. This is bullshit. They went out and Slick literally was just himself, and they took it the wrong way. Slick is good. Slick is weird. Yeah, he is weird, but he does it online. Like, he does it, it's always how Slick is. And Adriana is a clout chaser.
And apparently this tweet went viral saying Minx has a long history of horrible behavior. Her stans will say that it's all years old and that she's grown, but the night really shows her true colors. And this is honestly backed by a lot of pretty undeniable evidence. And one of the reasons people were kind of defending Minx on this live stream, where she was pretty much laughing at Adriana, was that there were multiple instances where Minx was doing things that were unusual, like putting hair dye in her mouth and smearing it around her face. And people are saying it's a manic episode. Apparently Minx has bipolar disorder, so this looks like an episode, a manic episode, to be honest. I don't know. And then other people are saying it could have just been a show, but I find that a little hard to believe because it did look real in my opinion. But I still think that's kind of a bad defense because she did look genuine when she was calling Adriana a clout chaser for coming out against abuse about one of Minx's friends. After all these allegations and drama dropped, one of Minx's old friends posted a twit longer saying, "My experiences with Minx in the streaming community." She pretty much said, "I'm not affiliated with any of the current events being brought to light. However, I've been holding on to a situation that is quite similar with someone involved. I'm tired of never saying anything, and I hate watching others on the platform go through similar situations, even remotely similar, and also be made out to be a joke. I had made a tweet in 2020 stating my experiences in actual trauma, peer pressure, and uncomfortable positions no one should be ever put into. One of the incidents is what happened in 2018 at a TwitchCon party hosted by Minx and her friends. At this time, Minx was one of my best friends. We had a friend group of just girls we were pretty proud of. By the time our friend and I arrived at the party, most of the girls were asleep or gone. We decided to stay for a bit as we didn't see a point as to immediately leaving once arriving when people were still partying, but Minx was still awake in there. I felt safe. That my friend and I didn't understand. Apparently it was a UK drinking game. We decided to join in, and at the time we honestly didn't see anything seriously wrong with it. I'm very competitive and believed I could learn as I went. I just wanted to be included. Every time you messed up, you had to drink an entire red solo cup of vodka or take off a piece of clothing. Around the time Minx decided to sit out and sleep, I ended up drinking and eventually had to remove my shirt that are exposed as others. Let's just do truth or dare. I know how these types of games went, so I always answered truth. The questions I was asked were obviously sexual, but it didn't bother me that whatever could be possibly a dare. My friend, however, was drunk fast. She ended up getting into one of only her bra and underwear in front of at least 13 guys. I was uncomfortable and ready to go. It was at this point where my friend stood up to take off her last piece of clothing and fell over instantly and knocked over her cup of vodka. I asked if she was okay and if she wanted to leave, and she insisted we stay, so I wanted to clean the vodka up and came back to them telling telling me someone's dare was to remove the rest of my clothes. I was confused. I didn't lose, but I had to remove my clothes anyways. I told them I'm good. I didn't want to, and my replies were drowned out by echoes of guys telling me to just do it. It's okay, they won't judge. It's part of the game. I continued to say no and got up and left. I helped my friend get her clothes on, ordered an Uber, and left. None of them said goodbye. They actually left the house and pretended like I didn't exist after telling me I ruined the party. Which, these accusations are honestly insane. I mean, this was a TwitchCon party that sounds like it was full of streamer guys. Now obviously I don't know if there are any big names there. It doesn't sound like there were. Doesn't really matter. This is still really creepy behavior. Now sounds like it's a situation where 13 guys are having a drinking game with 2 girls, and that just sounds like a major red flag to me. Sure, it's unfortunate that she said she felt so safe, especially because it was Minx's party and she thought maybe Minx was, you know, like the host or something, so maybe she had more control than she did. And when she was texting in the group chat with Minx, she said it wasn't forcing, but that's definitely not being sympathetic and understanding to the SHIT. That's peer pressure. And Minx says, then don't say the word forced. You could be destroying so many people by saying that. How could you not realize that? Anyway, so Minx is pretty much defending these guys that were at her party for playing this inappropriate drinking game, and she's, you know, trying to defend these guys for being inappropriate. Like the girl in the beginning said, there seems to be a history of Minx defending bad behavior. And when she said she would come forward and, you know, talk about these inappropriate drinking games with, you know, Twitch stream, Minx replied to her by saying, feel free to try to talk shit to me again and my friends, but I'm ready to open up all of the shit you've told me too if we're playing that game. And she said, oh, it was only crap they were talking about. Minx reached out to her saying, hey Angel, we obviously have our differences, but I saw your twit longer. I'm probably going to come out and address the thing soon. While I still don't agree with past actions, I want to apologize if I made you feel that you were alone and lost at TwitchCon. I didn't know at this time it was bad because when Blank told me, she didn't tell me you were crying or that you were that upset. I didn't know it affected you this bad. I haven't spoken to Blank in a while, and I'm going to get in contact with her and everyone that was there that night, so hopefully I can get this sorted out and all sides can be heard. If the people that you meant left were Blank, I know it's because you arrived and they didn't want to get uncomfortable. Your history, but that's some parts of the story I'm still a bit lost on. I'd like to talk about it more and learn more so I can fully understand all sides and address it, which was a bit of a shock to the girl that originally came up with these claims about these inappropriate drinking games, because originally when she brought up her discomfort to Minx pretty much just said it wasn't that bad and pretty much downplayed it. The girl replied, I'm not really sure what to make of these messages. Honestly, you knew how bad I felt. I told you what happened. I talked to Kitty and she told me about what you'd said, how you were pissed at me and ignoring me. You deliberately avoided me. I said I was going to TwitchCon to see you all, and you immediately left once I mentioned the party and how uncomfortable it was. None of what you said about Blank. They weren't even having this happen, and having it bring back past drama was so effing much. But honestly, having one of my best friends not believe me and basically abandon me hurt even more than anything that happened that night. And then Minx replied, I'm going to get in contact with the people from the party. I know some people were drinking heavily as others, like the ones who sat out for the game earlier. I want to get a statement from everyone to get this sorted. I really believe there's a mix up here, and I'm not okay with allegations that could ruin livelihoods. I'm willing to have a voice call too with you to hear more of your side, because I compile everything into a video or twit longer. Angel, I felt sick that night and dropped out of the game because I didn't want to play strip poker and drink anymore. No one pressured me to continue. I can promise you they had no ill intent or even wanted to feel that way. And I remember you had drama in the community at the time and they wanted to make you feel included, which is a terrible take. They just wanted to see her with no clothes, let's be honest. I do think what they're both saying has valid points. I definitely disagree with Minx more in this position, especially because these were, sure, no one was quote-unquote forcing them to play, but they were all super drunk and in front of 13 guys pressuring them to take off clothes. So even if even if they did know what strip poker was, it's still a really uncomfortable position to put them in. And one of the girls even said, one of the girls that was playing along with no problem because she was super drunk, went to remove the last piece of clothing she had and literally like tipped over or passed out, something like that. So she was that drunk. And honestly, it really makes me sick to feel like any of these streamer guys are playing strip poker or an inappropriate game with girls who are that drunk. It's just super inappropriate actions, and it's kind of weird seeing Minx defend this kind of behavior. Especially because, I mean, she's a girl in the industry, and shitty things happen to girls in the industry. I mean, I don't know. I don't really get it. Gaslighting her. You know, I don't know what happened with this Minx's friend in this past community. I don't really care, but this is a whole different situation. You know what I mean? These inappropriate games aren't, you know, hurt. If they came out, it wouldn't hurt people for no reason. You know, playing strip poker with girls that are so drunk they can't even stand up is super fucking inappropriate. And these guys should know better. I really understand like the peer pressure to stay at parties, well, even if you feel uncomfortable, but I think this is a good learning lesson that if you're put into an uncomfortable position, it's okay to leave. Yesterday, I put out a video talking about more creepy allegations from a YouTuber named Boy in a Band who worked with PewDiePie and Jaden Animations. And honestly, some of the claims made in these allegations are insane. You're not going to want to miss this video. Click here to watch it now.